This station rules the nation. True FM 96.1, the heart and soul of Liberia.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Tuesday morning. It's great to be back. Back on the TBS, the True Breakfast Show on 96.1, the heart and soul of Liberia. Good morning to all of you listening up. This is Liberia's biggest breakfast show, considered across the 15 counties in the land and breath of the Republic of Liberia. Tuesday morning, 12th of September, 28 days to elections, less than a month to election. We'd like to say good morning to all of you listening up this morning. The love of liberty matters here. Let justice be done to all. Now, some of all of us, good morning, Nima. Good morning, Salala. Good morning, Bon County. How is it this morning? Waking up this morning, a lot of activities in Salala, in Palala. Good morning, Grand Kid Mom. Good morning, Mangibi. Everyone says, Grand Bassa, Lofa. Around you find yourself, Bon County. This is the breakfast show. My name is O'Neill. This is O'Neill Roberts, Marka B. Davis. Serving breakfast straight up to 10 o'clock this morning. And Nobel Peace Laureate, Lima Bowie, says I should forget about Bobby Addison short proverbs and feature this morning again for the second time. And Lima Bowie wrote, in recent years, we have seen many reports of the high employment rates worldwide. Liberia is not exempt for this problem. Many young and not so young individuals live in extreme hardship. Stories of hunger, inability to cater to hospital bills, school fees, your common needs. Most of the country are we striving for? And that decision should go down to the ballot box. Make the decision at the ballot box. So good morning, folks. Thanks so much. Lima Bowie. Again, let me say good morning. Good morning to you, Marka. How you doing this morning?
Yeah, I'm not too okay.
Why? I see where you go with this one. What happened?
Yeah, I'm not too okay. I'm on the weather.
Oh, less than 48 hours. After the birthday, you honor the weather.
Yes.
So the full hour, you not honor the weather.
My voice is bad.
Yeah, man. You push your fast and pray.
Yeah, I'm not gonna green tea.
No, I cover you. Green tea will treat you that day. Difficulty they will have hit 70 going up.
They don't want to do green
The
tea.
green tea, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, but folks, good morning. It's great for us to be here again to serve our country, and this is where we can contribute our own support to the country, and then we continue to say we must be committed to the cause of keeping our country peaceful. Thanks to the European Union and ECOWAS for dispatching the first set of observers in the country to observe our process. So yes, these are all activities that mark an election year. So obviously we'll see all of these things.
Okay.
After all, they will be giving out their own assessment reports and findings on how they feel about the elections. Yes, so we must embrace peace as we go through these elections. Good morning to all of our followers this morning. Via our social media page, Real TV / Truth FM Live. Those of you who have joined us this morning, good morning to all of you. Big brother Emmett Hammer, who is always checking. Thank you also for joining this morning. Emmanuel K. Topa, good morning. Also, thanks for joining. Papi Keita. All of you, it's great to have you all alive this morning. And to you following us via radio, good morning. You are BKS fan. We love to say good morning to you this morning. It's great for us to be here on the TBS again to bring you happenings across our country. It's great to be, and just before we go any further, let me use this opportunity to extend happy birthday to one of my sister and media colleague. Even though this time yeah, Ari Houghton, good morning and happy birthday to you. September 12th is her birthday. She's celebrating today. So yes, it's great that we're here again to serve you breakfast this morning on Truth FM 96.1.
Claire,
yes.
Small.
Yeah, thank you.
We're getting this grinding team.
Yes.
Let's see who can get a breakfast.
Yeah,
right. This is the breakfast show, Truth 96.1, the heart and soul of Liberia. Okay, so this is the breakfast show 96. But let's go have our lineup. So much to talk about this morning. 28 days for elections. If you are campaigning, please make sure you campaign well. Let your message resonate with the people.
Time flies.
Yeah.
We've
been counting from 300
to 28 today. Yeah. Wow, September 12th.
Yeah.
Well, so this morning, this is the menu for the breakfast this morning. Our studio chat will talk about political parties and a campaign tour preparation for poll watchers and all of that. We'll talk about it this morning. Like we've always said, protecting your vote is important during elections. So yes, we'll talk about that. And also Bon County District 6. What's happening there?
Big thing happened yesterday in Bon County.
The people were wrestling over who to welcome the president.
Yeah.
And then supporters were clutching.
I will tell you the detail. The thing that happened.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we will talk about that in our studio chat. Following that at 8:50 this morning, we'll have presidential candidate Sheikh Mustafa Kuyate, political leader of the Liberia First Movement, will be our first segment guest this morning on the show. Coming up at 9, sports, entertainment, commercials on the show as usual. 9:20 to 10 o'clock this morning, Team Monimba from the camp of presidential hopeful Dr. Clarence Monimba. They will be here this morning on the show as our last segment guest, and in the midst of all country first. I'm not talking too much this morning.
Country first. So let's get a brief out of the team. So enjoy the team a little bit. Don't go straight into the broadcast this morning. Okay, yes, welcome back. Welcome back. So many things happening backstage.
Yeah, sure.
Easy. Yeah, so but this pool washer thing again, want to say good morning, welcome to the breakfast show. Marka is under the weather. Um, this pool washer thing, protecting your vote is something very important. Hmm? After that, there are a lot of you who are there campaigning, but you're looking after what we call the pool washers. These people are very, very important. Hmm? So, but I want to hear from Elections Commission a little bit.
Mhm.
Yeah, they think of protecting your vote. How do people protect their votes? After voting, the polling places will open at 8 o'clock in the morning. This morning, we're going to let you know the polling places open at 8 o'clock, then 6 o'clock, voting ends. The pool washers will be there along with next staff to make sure the results get out to the public. But I intend speaking up with Nishas Wishes. He's for the National Elections Commission. This protecting your vote, how it works. You know, yeah, Sarah Best putting political parties together, how to protect your vote. But let's hear from someone from the National Elections Commission who will tell us briefly about. He said today. We are different to laughing out. Good morning, welcome. Yeah, yeah. Mhm. Okay. Yes, you live on the breakfast show. We intend to play this call to you after voting is done, protecting your vote.
And that is the description the politician gave it, protecting your vote.
Okay.
But we at the commission terms it as the provision of transparency. We show transparency. How can we all maintain transparency during the process?
Mhm.
As we get like from the public again, the commission is carrying out currently the training of party agents, we term it as TOT, trainer functioners
Okay.
of party agent, that is pool washer. The pool washer of political parties are then trained by the commission. How are we doing it? We try to inform the political parties and the candidates, the agents continuously that this process is open and transparent. There's nothing secret about it. And how in their own terminology can the votes. The process is very simple. When
Mhm.
they give you
Yeah, go ahead.
a trade. The agents or the pool washers are
Mhm.
accredited by the commission. The first thing the commission does, we train the party agent on the do's and don'ts, what happened at the pool, what is the responsibility of staff at the pool, at the polling place, and what is also the responsibility of the international and local observers, including the media.
Okay.
And when a pool washer goes to the polling place, the first thing the commission does, we give 2 accreditation tags to every candidate contesting at a polling place. So that can 2 pool washer for 1 polling place.
Mhm.
I mean, a polling room. So the reason we give you 2 persons is that we want that all times. If the other man needs to go and eat, another man comes in to feed. If another man goes to use the bathroom, another man comes in and feed. That's the first transparent process.
Okay.
The next one is that the commission informs, carry out accountability during the polling. That is, in the morning, when the poll watcher appears at the polling place, the commission must declare to everyone at that polling place before the voters come in. We have the poll watcher in that will determine the opening procedure. We declare to the poll watchers and other observers during the opening ceremony how many ballot people were received in the morning.
Okay.
And to the transparent nature of the process, we even give the serial number of the ballot paper, the opening and closing serial number of the ballot paper. The commission moves further to even display the empty ballot boxes. That's why our ballot boxes are transparent. we must display the empty ballot box. We also seal the ballot boxes in the presence of the party agent. Because after you shall have displayed the ballot box empty, you sealed the ballot box. The serial number of the seal is given to the party agent to write into their journals. After the serial numbers are written, commission our staff can declare the pool open. If the pool is open, everybody see even the slot of the ballot box is open to put in your ballot paper. So your pool watcher sits there in the morning. Yes, that is, you can change this your staff push to. At the close of the pool, the commission also closed the slot of the ballot box. Because we don't want to say while we're getting ready to count, someone puts in the ballot box. So that slot is closed. The serial number of the seal is announced to them also. And then we do what we term as accountability for the fraud.
Okay.
We will stop at that. Only in the morning we told them to receive 550 ballot papers. Then 550 ballot papers, let's see how many tests.
Okay.
The ballot boxes are sealed. So our calculator counts ballot papers. So if we used 200 ballot paper, we saw after counting we saw 250 ballot paper. It means that in the ballot box of this category, we will find 200 ballot papers.
Okay.
So when you open the ballot box, we first count how many ballot paper in the ballot box. One of the votes. That one we reconcile.
Okay.
After the reconciliation, then we short and we will count the vote. And then everybody write on the top sheet, you sign it and put it on. Only 100% you must protect your vote. Your votes are protected.
Okay.
Those processes.
So they initially this called across all of the counties.
All of our polling places, all of our prisons are the 5,800 polling places across the country.
Okay. Yes.
So to protect the vote, we are training them, and we usually out the training of body agent, and we answer all the questions that they say a word. And even political party, when they even train their agents or the poll watchers to go out for consultation, we give it to them. Because the commission is transparent in what it does. And I tell you something for you, just for the public to know.
Quickly.
Today the commission on discussion with political party. And you know what we did? We disciplined such management system where results are gotten, results are completed.
Okay.
And what we do.
Thank you so much, Anisha. Definitely, at least we, as we get close to elections, we'll place in a call, if not almost every day, but to get the public informed in this thing about protecting the votes and how do people go about voting on elections day, when putting places all open, close out to the public, and all of that.
So welcomes all of the political party. Manufacturing is responsible to issue out accreditation tax.
Okay.
Most of media know.
Yes. No, you said you got remaining of my cards, so you have to send that. Okay. And make sure the information should go down to all of your staff. When they see the media people with tag, we don't have to send on the line because okay.
Today, I will do that. We have a lot of international institutions coming. We even have the elections party of ECOWAS that will come in country. We have what we term as GCC. The political party groupings for Nigeria. We have people from Senegal. We have almost all of the countries who sending in observers. So these elections,
okay.
And we hope that these elections will be welcomed by everybody.
Thank you so much, Anisha. We said we'll play this call to you anytime necessary. Okay, great, folks. This is the breakfast show protecting your vote. Marka, you listen up to
Yeah.
yeah.
Yes,
The remaining of the cars ready. We'll make sure we'll send in for that.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, but
we need to have the
Okay,
passes.
say them.
Yeah.
Yeah, easy. Let's move on. Let's talk some county politics. And this time around, I'm going straight into Bon County District number 6. You know, since I visited Palala. Yes, since I visited Palala, presidential hopeful they won't say he wanted me to go Ganta. Yeah, but while riding along, I decided to stop to Bon County.
Because your car was overheating?
Maybe yes, maybe no. So, but President George, we are good morning to you, my black president. You went to Bon County yesterday. The president is on his county tour now. Campaign. Let me put it this way. Normally, when you go somewhere, it's good to ask. And what happened yesterday in District 6 was a very sad one for the vice president. I'm going to tell you the whole story. Good morning to you. It's good to greet our leaders. If CDC don't play, the amount of votes the coalition will lose in Bon County in that district. Remember Brig Menza in 2017 won the district on her own as independent. There was no political party that Mema Briggs Menza supported her in 2017. There was 16 candidates. She flogged them. In 2023, you have 6 candidates. Can you imagine, Marka? From 16, they won that district with Wembley, then they reduced to 6. So the president yesterday visited Bon County, and then should go down. The vice president didn't feel good at all, man. Joel Howard Taylor and Mema Briggs is no secret, have been together throughout the Women's Solidarity thing. Anyway, you see Mema Briggs, you see Chief Dr. Joel Howard Taylor. All of Mema Briggs projects, you'll see Joel Howard Taylor. All of our vocational schools, the graduation whatsoever, you'll see Joel Howard Taylor. This has been going for more than 2 years. Almost 2 years. You know what happened yesterday? Mema is still contesting as an independent candidate. And President George Weah in 2017, when he lifted this guy, hand called Bill Connor. Bill Connor was defeated in 2017. President, good morning to you, by black president, as he had to name out this morning. In 2017, you lifted Bill Connor hand up, the whipping. 2023, this county is Joel Howard Taylor County, Bon County, man. The president should have asked Joel, are you working here with anybody? The president do it. The president lifted William Thompson hand up yesterday, Marka, in the presence of Joel. After
who is supporting Mema Briggs Mensa?
Joel is supporting Mema Briggs Mensa.
Okay.
Yesterday, the Unity Party put there with me, so
today at
TDC time, y'all will deal with me too. But we'll tell the fact. Anybody who will win our leadership, who will win, our person will win. Joel Howard Taylor supports Mema Briggs Mensa. Mema Briggs Mensa supports Joel. If Mema supports Joel, we should support George Weah.
Of course.
Once Mema supports Joel, that of course is George Weah. But the president yesterday went and lifted a hand of William Thompson. Before that, people wearing the t-shirt of Mema Briggs. Yes, some of them were compared to take off the t-shirt, embarrassingly. So after the black president now feeling lifted William Thompson hand up, the group said no. The vice president feels so embarrassed. She went in the vehicle. President, what happened behind the scene after you have left? After you left, Chief Dr. Joel Howard Taylor, she felt bad. She went in the vehicle of Mema Briggs one-to-one to comfort her. Say, hey, Mema, don't blame me. Oh. They may not the president. Oh. William Thompson, on Mema Briggs' own, Mema can win on her own. Mema is not going as partisan of the PUP or the CDC. She's going out as an independent candidate.
But the person here, the president lifted, is he also an independent candidate?
No.
He's a candidate on the party ticket.
On the party ticket, but this is where the coordination is not there. It's not there.
But it's hard to say. Yeah, it's hard to say because
so let me check this in the election commission thing. We'll look at the William Harris man.
Yeah. So if the person is the one on the party ticket, then one should be aware that CDC has a candidate in the district. So it's obvious that when the standard bearer of that party comes in the district, you obviously have to leave the hand or the hand of party's candidate. However, I think the point there is the coordination.
The coordination it work.
Yeah, I think the point there is the coordination.
Because more than 2 years, Joel and Mema have been in that counter throughout. If you ask for the vice president,
why didn't convince Mema to run the party ticket?
The president, that's two-way question. It's a two-way street. But what I'm saying, Mema on her own, she can win that district. But now CDC will, because Mema will tell us supporters, say, look, Mema will tell us supporters, say, look, y'all will vote for anybody for the presidency, so y'all go ahead. And I job will lose the vote there. Yeah, because if and Mema in the gathering too. Oh yeah. Okay, at the Bon County. District what? District 5. Okay, District 6.
District 6 Bon County.
District 6 Bon County. William Thompson, Coalition for Democratic Change. So you're right. Yeah. So that's I see it.
Yeah, so I don't know if Mema feels disappointed, but I think Mema should expect that when the step of the CDC goes in the district, you obviously leave the hand of the CDC candidate. However, I think the coordination is the issue because obviously seeing the person in the district with huge support and with their allyship or alignment with the vice president, the relationship and all of that. Well, I don't know how they should have done it, but I think the vice president should have convinced women to run on the CDC ticket.
This is Marka, this is politics in a sense that what happened on the network. I thought you should check it out. All right. But the thing here is this: Mema on her own. There are some in District 3 here. You don't say Ambassador Boca, they didn't live in hand of what's his guy name?
District 3.
Oh, say that. The politics though. Sometimes the standard bearer can because look, of all of the CDC candidates, George will want to be re-elected. Most of the representatives.
It's actually critical for the standard bearers. That's right. Yeah, for the standard bearers because.
But District 3, after the 3, what I let's see by sharing. No. So now you can let something some tricky thing that will happen. Because what I'm saying, this lady on her own in 2017, I'm going back to the record. 16 candidates, she stood tall and won and flogged them. And now they're just 6. So her supporters yesterday, the aftermath, the supporter group at her home and say they are going to say no to President Weah. That's why I'm bringing this up.
Okay.
Yes, maybe somebody didn't say that. The same thing with Johnny Way, right? The CDC people have to PUP and CDC. The president know that Johnny will win.
Wow.
Now what happened in Bon County? The aftermath, the president when you left, the aftermath, that group you saw, they went to Mema Breed's house. They say that what happening? Joel was sorry, but we can blame you too, my people. But we'll not vote CDC. Says that what happening to our candidate. Our daughter will say we won. Your true or your force will also take out the t-shirt. So any political party will play the smart game to troop into Mema. Because Mema have a fan base or supporter base in a Salala belt. Yeah. So again, this thing happening everywhere. Where the rescue team will be on.
Yeah, it's not easy.
Happening everywhere. It's happening everywhere.
The standard bearers are like almost in the scissors because it's difficult to satisfy everybody. And in my opinion, I think the president's decision was I think the president because if the president had not lifted the hand of the party's candidate, was still going to have some of these.
This is why you want. What happened in Bomi County? You post somebody here, or you posted no.
But on you,
coffee in Bomi County, right? He said that coffee was posted no. So sometimes we listen to the people.
Statistics show also that Mama Briggs supporters majority, some of them or almost half of them are from Unity Party. So if the president has stood by Mama, also what will have happened also?
No. Then now her relationship with Joel
Uh-huh.
Hmm?
So this is critical.
Yeah, this is critical, right?
Mhm.
Very right.
Mhm.
Her relationship with Joel for more than 2 years. People will say, well, I think the vice president have been with Mema for long. Okay. Once we vote Joel, you're not voting Joel, you're Josh, where are you voting? So let's go for the women's solidarity thing because most of us have been with unity.
So my advice to supporters, is, if you are supporting Mama, support Mama Briggs Mensa and support any presidential candidate.
Oh,
Ah.
so why where is the Joel? Let's they advise
Or
that.
knew the advice is
Okay, so we had the 3 ballot paper, right?
mm-hmm.
We
You got it.
We finish checking Mema.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Then you go to the president, then you go find anything. Say if you are supporting Mama Briggs Mensa,
Correct.
you hold the representative ballot
You
paper.
finish your own.
You check
Uh-huh.
Mama.
Uh-huh.
When you go on the presidential list, you just find anybody you want.
Kind of thing. One country there.
But that's it.
But
Yeah, but I don't think the president was wrong.
yeah, but that
Only I don't think the president was wrong
yeah,
because there's no way that
way.
you will leave your party candidate. You are touring the country. You fortunate to go in the district, and your candidate is happy that yes, my political leader is here.
Do you know?
In the base of the people, you don't lift your candidate's hand.
Granted.
It means it will be worse.
Do you know there are some presidential hopeful who will see that candidate there and lift that president?
Yeah, let it play triple game.
But you can trade yourself more than the people. You want the people vote the money your candidate. Maybe the person who manage to get on that ticket too is another thing. But what I can say to move on this thing, so these other counties, I guess you explain more. They see Kafia now, the PUP, the CDC, because into the merger, the person no, who want Kafia, you know. So I guess you'll see more as you go to Nima, you go to other counties, observe the terrain too. Don't just make the decision.
Only this is what we said from the beginning, from the countdown from the 300.
Similar thing have gone to District 7.
Yeah.
The thing Bonkante. District 7 too.
That's the similar thing we were saying before. We said if you are getting Canada on the party ticket, it should not be the person know the party chairman, the person know the Senate bearer. The person should be a marketable candidate. Understand? The person should be marketable. So what's happening now? People are like, oh, obviously you don't expect the president to not leave the hand of his candidate.
So I look at William Thompson. I mean, probably he's not a bad guy, but I try to do some, he's not connecting with the people. So in 2017, President William left Adam Conahan, he didn't win. A similar thing will happen again.
Now, raise the party trust him, man.
The
party trust him.
District 7 again in the same Bond County. The VP probably is not supporting what? The candidate too.
Who's the CDC candidate?
The CDC candidate in District. Go straight into that. The District 7, the candidate in District 7. And this actually will fall on the party, on the general presidency thing. Like we see what you have said. After the poll finish voting, anybody don't vote for president, they go do it. And
so in that case now, it will not be vote one, vote all.
The same situation in District 2. District 2. It's everywhere in the country. It's everywhere.
The election was a joke.
The election is going to be dramatic. It's going to be very, very tough.
And somebody said the District 3 candidate too, the president did not leave it. District 3.
District 3, yeah.
3, Monserrato, yeah.
Joseph Blocker didn't live up CB Bashir. Even the District 12.
And that president we had did not also lived Kofi Johnson as well. That's the information I'm getting.
You see that? Then District 12 too. My personal colleague there. Karen Robertson. No. The thing just coming. The text just coming everywhere.
The thing is,
the president said that you the party, the guy who's replacing want to contest with Jimmy Smith in the street. Cover, huh? Yeah, I'm not too popular with him. So he was struggling with some candidate, and then you should know.
Yeah.
So the candidate who was struggling with that, they So the similar thing, but this is happening just everywhere. So that's how
Mhm.
you have to be careful with this as we go into the elections. But our duty as media institution will stay the fair play game. We'll continue to be here and announce the result. The good at you see, I love how elections commission forming part of this broadcast every time we come on.
Mhm.
After the people finish voting, the decision of the Liberian people,
The people's vote.
nobody will play with it.
Absolutely.
Yes, so Director and a board of commission continue to encourage Liberians. This is what we're out for doing for our country.
Yeah.
Yeah, someone sent me the killing in Bobo.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, in District 2?
In District 2.
Oh,
Are you struggling with District 2?
Kokolo Buffalo.
Kokolo, yeah.
Kokolo Buffalo.
So if you see your standard bearer,
After one picture of the guy, his hair was wrapped, just a star, just a superstar.
yeah. So if the standard bearer come in your district and not lifting your hand or something happening, then the same district 12, Marka, the standard bearer. I mean, y'all love the show because all the parties that were dealing with this, we really see people who see what they wrong and will put it there. Yeah. The standard bearer of ACOP, the campaign chairman for ACOP is Ali Sila.
Okay.
Ali Sila is a Liberian ambassador to where? Qatar. And he's the what? He's the chairman of ACOP. Ali, if you see Ali, my good friend, he still rides the vehicle of ACOP. Chief spokesperson of ACO, and he's a Liberian ambassador to the Middle East. He's laughing. What happened to post and telecommunication?
Oh yeah, Councillor Cooper Crack.
Cooper had to say goodbye and resign the post. This election will be dramatic. So you see, so some black on the social media now say, but Ali is the ambassador, Liberian ambassador in the Middle East, and how come he's chairman of ACO? I mean, it's conflict of interest. Is it working? So there is a second round. You know the whole ACO will go for what? That negotiation quite easy.
Yes, yesterday we saw a bad scene in Sierra Leone yesterday. You saw it? No. There was a bad scene in Sierra Leone yesterday.
Behind the RI.
Group of citizens were protesting yesterday in Sierra Leone. They said they are protesting against hardship. I think just a couple of months after the election, and we saw them burning tires in the street. We saw security people trying to calm them and all of that. For me, it was bad. Yes, I think it was bad. But you know, the people must feel good of their government. So yeah, if they don't feel good about our government, they don't have anything to go do. But
less than
yeah, I think
5 months to election.
Yeah, you know,
protests.
Yes, protests were in Sierra Leone yesterday. I followed it live, and some of them saying Bill must go, and all of that. So, yeah, that's it. The Marka said that didn't hold a hat. Their presidential term, I think, is 5 years. So that didn't waste more. The man 5 years finish, they put another person.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Look, that's what we said on here. We tell you to vote for who. Let me just make it clear. One of my senior brother of mine, you know, look, when we said on this public media, we just want to tell Liberian people the decision you're going to make will last for you for the next 6 years. If George deserves to be president, so be it. We'll call him our president. If Cummins wins it, we'll call him our president. Joseph Boyka win the presidency, we'll say our president. Taiwan, Sheikh, Barrow Morris. What other presidential people?
Why Sheikh is that?
Yeah, Sheikh, maybe he can place your call. And anyone, the interest of the countries is above every individual. Okay, they say Ali Sila is the chairman of ACO.
Okay.
Yeah, and he's a Liberian ambassador in the Middle East. I mean, that's politics. There. Yeah. Executive Order 117.
That code of conduct said, I don't like to talk about the code of conduct. The code of conduct is a very unique policy document, but in Liberia, we make important things irrelevant. So yes, you see, the people were not, as I'm afraid to use stupid. The people were not stupid to craft that policy. It was very important, but then again, this because of political interest, it has been downplayed. It has been downplayed. You see me, I tell people in this country, the leaders, the people who can vote for, as soon they take chair, they can be thinking about the turn we get them, the turning we get them. It's not what they're thinking about. They're thinking about the second term. So in that light, they will compromise some of the major policies in the country only because they want second term. So the person who will come to change and set things in space here will just come to rule like brother one term.
Derek Wood said, "Don't spoil our party." Sila is the campaign chair. Okay, thank you. Let's go. You going back?
Yeah.
But,
so
yeah,
people who make changes.
the thing happening everywhere. Even in the 5 years, where the district at Tamon father left, right? Mo Ali was to contest. What happened? The close daughter of Senator Kanga, Priscilla Cooper, had interest in the district, so Mo Ali had to back off. You know the unit, yeah?
Maybe more not prepared.
No, the member they banner all. Yeah, all on the police academy for the beginning and still be making noise. The same mode for the banner, yeah. We still got a banner, yeah. How can the decision change that? All of that. So this is happening just cutting across everywhere. But political parties, if you're not campaigning well, as we try to place a call to Sheikh Kuyate, presidential hopeful. Political parties, all of you are campaign chairmen. If you don't campaign well, the results that will come up for neck are the result we, the media, will announce to the public. There are several things that you're supposed to start to do. Pool washers, some of you don't looking after your pool washer. The pool washers play a very important role in these elections. There are 5,400 polling centers across the country, and some of you political parties, you won't make it. So if you send 500 polling places around, say you won't make it. Why I say 5,000? Sure. So that idea that Sarah Besselo came and said, "Yeah, protect your votes," all the political parties should come together. A CPP get one pool washer, ambassador, that pool washer represent all the political parties for greed business. Some of you not agree to it. Listen, though.
So it's not working?
It's not working. They think Sarah Besselo, the head of the African Liberation League, she said, "Let's do this, protect your voting." Brought all of the opposition political parties together. Let's sign this resolution. One pool washer here for Unity Party or for CPP.
He or she will serve all of us.
Yes, represents every one of us. Some of you put a bigger day and say no to it. When the results have to come from Palala, they play a visit there.
Mama Breeze,
yeah. When the results, what's about you? You have no pool washer there. Yeah. Some of your result will be 0.000% of the vote. No way to run it up to the nearest point.
I don't know how the incumbent representative in my district doing. I have absolutely no information about that. Johnson Boykolo,
district number
9 in my country. I don't know how he's doing. Yeah. I have absolutely no information.
Yeah. I think you got the live there. One or two people say coming up. We try to place a call to the head of Liberal Press Movement, Sheikh Kuyate. But as we close up this country, let's maintain the peace, my people. I was watching the cable news last week and just looking at what is happening in Morocco. You know, when something is happening to you, you can know what is going on. When the fire is on another man's home, you don't even care. But I mean, tension everywhere in the world. There are problems everywhere. Those of you who are campaign chair, usually not. If you're not campaigning well, the results that will come out, don't be surprised. George Wisner, CPP campaign chairman. If you're not campaigning well for Cummins, the result come out, don't be surprised. Campaign chair for United Party, Garrett DeLong. If you put more of your time on the Facebook just 2%. The reality on the ground is different. We're not reaching out. I'm seeing almost all of the political party, their attention just is Monserrato here. There's 892,000 voters here. Look, everybody going to take their fair share in this Monserrato here. You like it or not. Anybody can put up crowd. Most of the crowd, you'll see someone don't even have a voting cards. You don't know? They will come out. People will come out. But you have to reach out to the people. So when the election results start to come up, we'll hang drip on some people. Good at the contesting, eh?
Yeah.
2005 not easy one, man. Yeah.
About just a few days, the people say you should not enter the city hall in Brownsville. Yeah.
Not easy.
It's come.
I love that I love to buy newspapers. I go straight to the print media. I want to see because the people can hand drip on some people. So even the way T said, I am stronghold. Some of you are exonerate here, eating the people money. Eh? When they gave you little budget, you eat the money. Then you say the whole play under my control. You lie. The result will shock you.
Exactly.
The result will shock most of you. Let's see who can place a call to.
They say politics are game now. So
game.
why the politicians playing the game, the supporters to playing the game?
Game. The game is on. The football game in the Champions League, like the final. No, we stay in the quarter final.
No, we're not in the final yet.
No, that quarter final.
The second round will be the final.
Look, better than quarter final, next week that semi final, then we go to the grand final. They put play the game with you. Anybody kind of say yes, I will need it.
Politicians fooling the supporters fooling politicians.
Yeah, vice versa.
Yeah, that hey, we inside.
X raised to the 10 power. We still finding the X square. Yeah? The game that is on. Some of you will be shocked. Because why? It makes some of you exonerate here. You're eating the people money. They put you seeing and say, oh, okay. All right. We'll play the game. Let's play. We bring a neutral referee. The person who will win the match will win the match.
We move.
Yeah. They will like one of you. Then the champion war between you, you'll be applauding them. Yeah. Congratulations. Like, no vision there. Yeah, we move. Everyone say, thank you. Congratulations to our president. Then we ready now. If that Taiwan win, I'll say, congratulations, President Taiwan Gongolo. Congratulations, Ambassador President Joseph Boakai.
Yeah.
President Ezra Cummings. Or congratulations again, my black president, George Weah. Y'all do well. Y'all let George Weah win on the second.
Let me say thanks to our Liberian partners out there, including the EU, ECOWAS. I think they have some vested interest in the electoral process because everyone wants to see democracy flourish around the world. So to the extent that the people have sent ahead observational teams already, some long term, some will stay here up to, I think the EU team, the current team will stay here up to the 15th of October. Yes, stay up to the 15th of October. ECOWAS too have approved.
My man said that he win the presidency too. It was the President Sheikh Kouyaté. President Sheikh Kouyaté.
President, His Excellency Sheikh Mustafa Kouyaté, President Republic of Liberia.
So
they may get that profile.
Look, let me just say this. It's a blessing. All of you, the 20 candidates, if you win, you now win. It's a blessing. It's God's divine blessing. It's an opportunity to say, I want to contest. Let me just say that. There's possible of you will get 0.000% of the votes, but it's a blessing that you have reached to this far. Ascended to one of the most highest contested positions in your life to say, I want to be president. Congratulations. Yeah,
that's great.
Yeah.
So
let's
Oni will try to get to Sheikh.
Yeah, let's play some call.
We're gonna say my incoming president.
Yeah, incoming president. Incoming president. Yeah, the incoming president should be the one to,
Yes. Again, we caution our young people. Like even what was happening, we understand that there was some clash, between supporters of two candidates. I think I've seen this with Bon County yesterday. So we want to caution our the Liberian people, the young people. Please stop. I don't know. Stop behaving like you like the candidate more than the way they love themselves.
Okay.
You understand? You don't love these people more than the way they love themselves.
Oh.
They are not fighting physically, but you are fighting physically on their behalf. Even if someone gave you instruction to do so, don't do so.
Yes. We have the president in waiting.
Yeah, the incoming president.
Yes. And David Quote is so angry. Why? You have never chosen the vice president to check. But it's good to have you on the line, presidential hopeful. Like we do most time for Councilor Telom Gongolo. It's great to have you on the line this morning, Sheikh Kouyaté. Good morning. This morning, how is the Liberian First Movement, the political party that came want to change the country?
Recently, we traveled to this so abroad. Yeah, what I can tell you, a very important movement is to make a decision. Yeah, what is liberty or and also remain committed to the models of that. Same time, commitment to the of the renunciation and accountability.
Okay, so I was concerned. I'm seeing a lot of activities here in Montserrat. I'm not seeing like real friends move a little. I find out that you have been in the various county. Welcome back to Monrovia.
So much. My travel to the Southeast is one of the greatest experiences I've ever had.
Okay.
I went to Maryland. Maryland, I went to Sando. I went to
Mhm.
Canada, rather trust me, the condition of our people in that place. You sometimes wonder if they have secret government self-government. You know, one thing, most of the time when I was asking them, I'm pretending like one of the minors, because we have a lot of minors there, that minors in those states. Most of them,
Mhm.
I become slaves. They're working for illegal minors. They don't have safety water. They don't have access to farm road. And they don't have even access to inhabitable become beggars. Not because they choose to become beggars, but because the condition created for them in that area is the condition of creation, the condition of creation. That's what I saw. Sometimes when I was in Riverside, I would ask myself, is it really true that our leader, the President George Money William, comes from the country? Sometimes I ask myself, is it true that the Speaker of the House comes from sometimes I also wonder that the Deputy Speaker comes from sometimes I wonder if the President pro tem also came from the Southeast. And what was very saddening is when I was making inquiry, asking them, like I've never presented myself as a candidate.
Mhm.
I was there trying to know exactly
Or you disguise yourself. You don't tell people say, well, I'm contesting for the presidency.
absolutely. So I want to know exactly what I was doing. But I did this for 2 weeks, over 3 weeks. When everyone said, if anything from Trump comes on the ballot, is to do John will do what he decided to do. Some of them have decided not to vote at all.
Okay.
And some are saying, we will vote against anybody that votes against the like that's just the way President William. In the speaker, in the president protect, in the speaker. They have things that were voted against because when they see them out there, those who guys, you want to be able to vote your vote.
Shaq, let's go to some of the issues. Your party, the Liberal First Movement. I remember you launching a party almost a year plus now. Coming to this political landscape, how do Liberals see this party? Is it that something that this party is a little bit new? Probably you could wait for 2029. What are they saying to you?
No, the Liberian First Movement is not just a party. It is a movement from the Liberian people that have been in the advocating for good governance. That have been in the background advocating for the establishment of world transport. That have been background advocating for bringing government to find ensuring that the right thing is done. That's why the Liberian First Movement is built on 4 pillars. These 4 pillars unite the Liberian people so we can lead our country as a people, not at the beginning of LMM or whatever. Secondly, we do believe that for our that nation, that equality nation, the people must be empowered. So we also believe that empowerment is very essential in moving our country forward. Thirdly, we believe that if we must be a developed nation, there must be a system of accountability. Those who are in our country, they are accountable to the people, and the people that serve God are accountable to them. And fourthly is the what we refer to as development. Development is agriculture. The art is agriculture. Development is healthcare. Development is hospitals. Development is education. Development is work. Development is focus on. We are saying we are not pointing fingers at this person that person. But we do believe that to make a Liberia a better place, it will be done by the people we are saying. The Liberian incoming president who will be the 26th president of this country. It will be done by him, naturally. But it will be done through collective effort by every Liberian. We look for a government that we call a Liberian government. Where if someone who is for, who will the person have money himself for, the person has the potential to move our country forward, to push our agenda, we will have such a person effective.
Okay.
We will also ensure that when we win the election, going forward in the way we will be voted out, that there are people in government who are in position of trust and they are executing and always for the will of the Liberian people. We will have them that quality for everything in the position.
Great.
So
So,
we are not planning to wish on anyone.
mhm,
We're coming to build a period of own self.
great.
We will see ourselves as Liberians, not as Christians or Muslims, not as identify as us, South Eastern or West Eastern or North Eastern. But we see as one people, indivisible, with liberty,
Justice for all. Okay. Shaq, before continue this interview, I need you to confirm this. Tomorrow there's a presidential debate. Our sisters program, State of the Nation, have organized this debate for presidential candidates to come and share the platform to Liberian people. Can you confirm your presence tomorrow at 10 o'clock in the morning?
when it comes to discussing or to the having the meaningful dialogue, I'm always there.
So you confirm for tomorrow?
God's willing, I will be here.
Okay, great.
Yeah, so Shaq, you just returned from the hinterlands, I would say. Tell us exactly your experience in that part of the country outside of Montserrat County or Monrovia. Have it changed any thought you had going to this race?
And let me tell you something. When you go to Maryland County, for example, Maryland, one of them goes to the common because they say, well, we studied in Maryland, you turn over the 41, so they found that 41. Most of them are not taking price. Everything that is consuming in Maryland, 90% comes from the Africans.
Okay.
That's to tell you that people are now.
Your campaign what's your easy one? Your message. Now, I guess we don't want you tell the people that you told the people say, yeah, I'm contesting for the presidency. Uh-huh. Okay.
We are not against ourselves as lesser people of the nation. We are providing opportunity for the people. What is it for? We cannot have a government that is not big for all people. We must show that our Liberian people have justice. And in that culture sector, we look for just for that sectors, just for that money sector. That every company that comes to this country do money, they will not be just they'll be corporation side, not the Liberian people. That probably is show that at least 10%, minimum 10% is manufacturing. When you show that Liberia becomes from the people who produce rice, and we buy rice, right, that farmers, that will also encourage those who are now able to procure rice. They encourage them that if you want to continue this, we will empower you, to give you some tax waivers, so they have this being industrialized, we have, factory my country, when I see this, when the final video was found to you, that you made the right instead of locally. We look forward to that. We look forward to that area where those who are in the pool, man, who are taking our pool, protecting our countries around the world. Don't try to that the pool belongs to the country. The protectors of the pool must remain in the country. That's why we say that we have both family in our area. When we have both family, tell them the pool. We kept in our reserve that will give value to our money and also ensure to serve as collateral for being removed for what we are going through and our interpretation that they are clashing the day for loan. We use that money to pay hospitals. We use it as collateral to pay schools. We use it as collateral to train the medical doctors, nurses. And we will ensure to also provide to transform the state sector. When today when you see the police officers, most of them are paying $90 or something, $100 monthly. When you look at the compensation for the police officer, if it's over $90 for compensation, when you look at what you see the police officer who must protect us, he can't even protect himself, has no firearm to protect himself. He doesn't even have any uniform on him. So we see how this thing is.
Okay.
When you look around today, you realize that you can't have a weapon. The entire South doesn't even have 4 pickups police car. The entire Southeast don't have 4 police cars. And you can call the police and confirm it. They can look at that after they done research. And they worry. The Nigerian National Police has less than 25 vehicles. And we have political politics. Have over 50 cars in the electronic campaign. What's the essence of campaign? What can I do today? Tomorrow we'll be giving breakfast today. What have we done? I mean, have some people, what have we done? People of this country to move it on forward.
So check Honorable Creator. Mm-hmm.
Listen,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not trying to make any reason for people proud.
Okay.
But any reason for you like so that what must be done for people must be done.
Okay.
The minds of people must be restored. And the honor of people must be restored. And the thinking of people must be restored. For me, I'm very close to this decision. I will do this for you.
Okay. So I want you to answer this question quickly. I don't know how are you treating your own candidates on your party ticket, because now I don't know what loyalty is. Let me just, for example, in Grand Crew County, right? In Grand Crew, Unity Party is there campaigning for Abache. You see what happening? I'm a bit confused with this. This is a Unity Party here that wants to see the CDC. Part of them campaigning for Abache, the CDC candidate. So what Liberia is going into? Is that how you're treating your own those who are contesting your tickets, your parents?
That is why we said that we have to be among the lesser evil or the evil. We are choosing to become the alternative of all people. We are choosing to take a good path. And when you choose a good path, you realize that from the beginning you might not see what you are into, what you stand for. By the end of it, you realize that it's like path. And I can tell you that most Liberians who go to vote are not those who are on the street, who are parading or who are taking ballots. But those who vote are the silent voters. And they have seated them listening to us and exactly what we want to do for them. And they know what we stand for. I can tell you for sure, they are seeing what they're talking about now. They are seeing those who are supporting those who have oppressed us for some time. They are seeing those who have hurt us so much. They are seeing those who are stigmatized on people. They are not talking anything. On the day of election, on the 10th month, and the 10th day of the year 2023, they will speak out. The election will be different from what we think. Don't you think that putting back on the street is the way forward? No. Those are more most of them are home and listening to us. Some of them have seen the pain. Some of them have been dead for all the September will coming out.
You coming out when? The 24th?
The 24th of this month.
Okay.
Our message is clear.
Okay.
Those who believe in justice, come out.
Come out.
Those who believe in reconciliation, come out.
Okay.
Those who believe in accountability, come out. Those who believe in empowerment, come out. Those who believe in come out. And every Liberian come out.
Chef, what do you make of this one round victory thing? Is it a scare tactics, or perhaps we're going to see one of these political parties winning the first round?
What do you mean?
The one round victory.
I'll tell you, every candidate in this election is important.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not counting organize an election. And they also say one time that there's a need for this voter rule that your people who register in their own age, how did they allow underage people to register? And how did they identify that these people were underage? They also mentioned that there were people that multiple times. We have a system and you allow people to register multiple times. So what's the National Elections Commission has? And I'm just telling you, and I'm suggesting to us now today, why believe that election
Okay.
as long as
Mhm.
the issue cannot be solved,
Mhm.
the expectation of election is not something to be.
So, check. Let me draw you of this quickly. I will take some calls shortly, but let me draw you of this, right? On yesterday, I want you to listen to this very careful. All the politicians, right? All the presidential hopeful, listen up today. So, at one of my classes, I went to lecture at the university. Then a student said to me, "We are going to pay back these politicians at the ballot box." And I said, "What do you mean?" You get me? This is the football game. It's about time to pay back politicians. Are you going to be surprised that the elections results, the way many people are expecting to go, will not go that way? Well, this is absolutely surprising. I can see what's happening there. Yes, we can point on camera. What? This is unbelievable.
Peter Joy.
What? Yeah? Look, the reason why we're laughing, Shaq have just made it into the studio. Oh my God. You really want to work. Your microphone open. Shaq, so
Yeah.
you been in the studio. Oh, the vibe is welcome by. What? Look, welcome. Mhm. Okay, so we'll continue for our stuff. This is one of the most surprising interview ever. Ever in my whole journalistic career. One interview by mobile,
And then they get into the
they
studio.
just enter right in the studio. Even Christopher said I'm not doing interview.
I don't know whether you can disappear. I don't know what was that.
But Shaq, I was just saying.
Yeah, so I think you can remove the headphone from the mic.
Yes, just for
Yeah.
feedback. Make sure you capture him. This is presidential hopeful. Watching those of you watching on Facebook, interviewing via mobile phone. Interestingly, he just walk up in the studio. I mean, it's a nice one. Yeah. So I was saying, as one of our section yesterday while lecturing, then the student asked a question. He said, "Well, Prof, this election," I said, "Don't say Prof, say new." Anyway, this election is going to be dramatic. We are going to pay back the politician at the ballot box. Any political party or whatsoever will come, will celebrate with it. But the ballot box will pay them.
What's the analysis of that from that student?
You know, most of them are also there to avenge the anger. And those who are also feminists, including myself, most of us are aware that the people of this country are aware of our needs, our goals, and we know whether we are genuine or not genuine about what we stand for. So no matter how many t-shirts we print out, they will collect t-shirts because most of those are even told about t-shirts themselves. No matter how many flyers you print out, they will accept it with the money you give to them. No matter how many crowds they want to come out, they will come out that day to make us happy. Because for so long, they have been fooling the house. For so long, they have elected all with sincerity and we have served them with dishonesty. So most of them would come and say, no, we are not going to choose this person because of what he's giving us now. Because for so long, this person has not done this for us. But they are doing it based on the position that they want. And they will, after collecting it on the 9th of October, they will constantly say that 9th of October. And the 10th of October Monday that I will choose to train myself, not today or not tomorrow. Most of them will vote that day. So vote for a candidate not because of what he found, not because of what he said.
Okay.
That's why elections
agree with that student. I do agree with that student that the election result will be very dramatic. The people who are now dancing, most of it, listen. In fact, during the rally, most of the rally that go on, people go for rally. Most of the candidates cannot even give message. They will either accuse another person or dance and leave. And the people too go there with not expecting any message. Like a friend of mine told me, say Bishop Francis once said that a generation that is not coming is worried for them. Because they do not have an assurance of messengers, and they themselves do not even expect to have a message, but they always assemble when they are called to assemble, and they will leave when they are called to leave. And when they reach home, we ask them, what did you learn from where you went? They cannot tell you exactly where they landed. And that is what is happening now. When you see most of the political rallies that is happening today, you realize that even those who are contesting, they do not even have a message for the people. You realize that those that are going, they don't even know what they're going there for. Oh, yeah, I'll say, yo. But I'm saying to you today, the Liberian people this time around will decisively choose their leaders, and they will choose their leaders based on God's divine guidance.
So, Sheikh, what is your thought on the number of candidates going for the presidency?
That is an indication that Liberians are angry. If you see the numbers of candidates increasing for the presidency for the number 20, it is a clear indication that when people were, earlier thinking about three parties, and most people said, but these three people might almost be the same. And somebody say, okay, you know what? Yes, one of them could be good, but this person, though he's good, but he had this person that also involved in what has brought our country down. So we are coming to come against them. But I can tell you, Liberia First Movement organized itself clearly as a political party, from a pressure group to a political party, to ensure that justice is given to the people, to ensure, to guarantee that war and economic crime code is established. That was one of our reasons for getting the process, because we cannot keep saying we want war and economic crime code, and you support political parties like how I supported CDC in 2004 to 2020, and they never established a code. We are saying that no, we are not going to support anybody say war and economic crime code. We are coming as an institution, have been calling for war and economic crime code so that justice can be established in this country. And why do we want war and economic crime code? When that code is established, those who think that the only way to resolve their differences is through war, through violence, when they are behind bars, the next generation will not do that. Those who believe that come to government, it means to steal from the cover of the people, to steal from the public, the next generation will not do that. And I tell you something today, our fight is not a fight against anyone. Our fight is not a witch hunt. Our fight is a clear vision to ensure that we have a Liberia that we deserve. It is always said, the love of liberty brothers here. But how can you define liberty in the absence of justice? How can you define liberty in the absence of accountability? How can you define liberty in the absence of reconciliation? How can you define liberty in the absence of dignity and development? That's what we stand for. Liberia First Movement. We are the game changer.
Your chances in this election. Again, I'm a little bit worried. You have spent most of your time, in the part of.
We don't see these big billboards of
surprisingly, when I came to Monrovia, I saw 3 big billboards that were posted by a friend. One of the person or lady, I've never met her. She said, I went to a party headquarters, I asked that they should give me one of your flyers, and I did it with a billboard. Because I believe in war and economic crime code. My husband was killed in front of me and my children, and no one have actually brought us justice. We want those who killed my husband. We want to tell us why my husband was killed. What did they do it? We just want to know. If we forgive them. We want to know what was it done. And another person, a businessman, a foreign businessman, said to me, you always talk about justice and accountability. And we believe that foreign investment can only be protected when you have a system of governance where we have justice and accountability. And trust me, a farmer said to me, data billboard right to LPRC. That billboard LPRC was done by a Liberian local farmer. What did he say? He said, I listened to you the other time. We talked about decentralization of the governance system, where you said that we should not become the Monrovia to get passport, that we should remain to where we are to get our passport. He said, because of that, I'm the one that did it. I spent $1,500 to do the billboards for you, and I'm contributing towards your poor washers to ensure that you win, because we know that what you stand for. And I always say to people, if Sheikh Kouyaté doesn't win the election, Sheikh Ali Mustafa Kouyaté does not want any appointed position. My fight is not for job. My fight is for the justice for our country. My fight is to ensure that we have a better Liberia.
I mean, Sheikh, you have traveled almost all part of the world. Why should Liberians vote you as president? I mean, I was viewing through the various candidates, and I'm seeing, Sheikh, why should I?
Sheikh Kuyate must be elected as a president. For one fact, that Sheikh has not been in politics because he wants wealth. Sheikh does not see politics as a means of employment. Throughout my life, I have been in the private sectors. Sheikh has been one of the founders of the ruling party to the CDC.
Oh.
In 2013, Sheikh suspended his membership when we were in opposition, when lawmakers of CDC connived with Madam Salif to pass bills against Liberian people, 66 plus concession agreements against Liberian people. I suspended my membership because of Liberian people. When we won the election in 2017, I was called to convince to come back that when we take power, the best will be done for our people. And when I came back, we won the election. I refused job. What I did for the CDC, I said, having a meeting, they said, we need to have a car wash at the party headquarters. I said, this party headquarters will not have a car wash, you'll have a school. And to ensure that that must happen, Sheikh Ali Mustafa Kuyate, the chairman, is alive today. The former youth chair, Sidiki Fofana, who is now Ahmed Septonic, was there, and other leaders were there. I provided the material, the first materials to begin the construction.
The mini school on the coalition.
That was my idea, and I brought material to start it, and I'm grateful today. Today we had that school being built. On that same day, there were marketeers who were there. I said to them, I am not a candidate for the election. We will support my sister, Polita Wee, but I'm providing this amount of money to the market women so that they can empower themselves. Those of you who still support CDC are providing money in cash. I, Sheikh Kuyate, must be elected because my politics is not about empowering myself. My politics is about the Liberian people. I'm not a rich man, but I'm always concerned about the inclusive wealth creation of every Liberian. And when we won the election, as a businessman, I had the means, the opportunity, where the president is a good friend of mine, I could use our relationship to exploit the system and become one of the richest in this country. I refuse wealth. For what? And I said, Mr. President, we were elected by the people based on trust. And one of the commitments made by us to the people was that the establishment of World Economic Scrum Code. Mr. President, we were elected based on confidence of the people. They overwhelmingly elected us. And they elected us because they wanted to have an accountable leadership. Mr. President, you say you have 25% of your salary to the Liberian people. What is the proof that you have given the salary? Where is that 25%? Mr. President, you say we are the pro-poor. The pro-poor means we represent the poor people. We want to take the poor people from poverty to prosperity. Mr. President, where is Mama Mary today? Who photo was on Valentine, kissing the baby, happily so much. Mama Mary died in poverty. Mama Mary died of depression. Her children could not go to school. Her grandchildren could not go to school. Our people do not want free money for Wyatt. They do not want free money for Wyatt. What do they want? They want to have opportunity to have for themselves. Most of our people in this country are Christians. And when you read the Bible, it is stated in the Bible that the hand that receives, that gives, the hand that gives is the blessed hand. Then what is the hand that receives? Our people want to give. They don't want to receive. They want to send their children to school and pay their children's school fees. They want to send their children to school and pay their wire fees. They want opportunity so that they can be able to work and make their country, this country better, make your life better, make your children's life better. They want security. The security is justice, accountability, empowerment, reconciliation, empowerment, accountability, and development. That's what they want. They are not beggars. And those who are now saying, we are giving you scholarship, when they were not in position, they never provided any scholarship to anyone. Those who are saying today that were being estes, when they were not in position, they never pay any estes. What they are doing is Liberian for money. And I'm saying to you, fellow Liberians, when I become president, I, Sheikh Kuyate, do not have money on my own to build you houses, but I can assure you that every civil servant will have a house in this country from your own work, from your own money. I can assure you to dignify the life of our civil servants, their salary will be increased. The minimum wage will be $250. Because when you look around today, how much do one pay for house rent, 2-bedroom apartment? It's nothing less than $100. So when you pay someone $150, how do you expect them to be sincere? How do you expect them to be accountable? And the police, when you look at the security sectors, the police, I always talk about the police because my brother was the police, and I know what they go through. The police officer, most of them, they before the 15th of the month, they have even consumed their salary with transportation. When you look at the police today, the government included over 25 million in the budget for campaign. The police do not even have 20 vehicles nationally. When you look around today, people are saying that yes, we have done well. Where is the well? We want a Liberia where everyone will see themselves and be proud of themselves. But our relationship will not be based on one is having it and one is coming as a beggar. Today, the young people, when you look around,
do you regret your time in the CDC?
Nothing. I don't regret any decision. I went there for the purpose of which I went there. I served that purpose. And when I was there with sincerity and honesty. And when I realized that it was not about the people, I left willingly. And I'm the only person in Liberia who became member of a party in opposition and got power in less than 2 years, withdrew his membership from there. It is not about me, O'Neill. If it's about Sheikh Kuyate, Sheikh would have been one of the richest men today. I have very strong connection internationally. I could use my relationship to exploit the system, to become part of the thieves and say, and give the children money and go, oh, you say, you know what? You're going to pray, sing me. You give them money, you call and say good things about me. I won't do that. Even my party people, when I come on radio, I don't tell them I'm coming on radio because I want to know, I want to speak consciously. I want to speak my mind. And on you.
Check the way you speak if you were on a decision table nationally, or if you accepted a job from the CDC, they have been one of the key decision makers, maybe to change the course. Why did you reject an appointment?
You know, accepting a job from the thief, is an acceptance of thief rate. I know that President Weah, when I look around before the election time, I realized that President Weah never had a house built like Sami Ito or Dede Duruba, and he succeeded in every one of them in sport. When I look around President Weah, I realize he spent most of the time going to refugee camps, meeting people. Most of his friends were people from downtrodden. And that was an assurance to me and many other Liberians that this man, with everything he has, he's down to the people. When he becomes the leader of this country, he will not focus on wealth. He will focus on how to improve the lives of the Liberian people. That is why we entrusted Mr. Weah to become the leader. Not because he was a footballer, but because we felt that he could make a difference. But what happened when Mr. Weah took over? In his first year, he built over 40 houses for himself. When you ask Mr. Weah one day, the Mr. Weah, the 40 houses you have built for yourself, can you sleep in one of the rooms just for one night? The 40 houses, please, just not all the rooms of the houses, but the 40 houses, spend one few minutes in each of the room until the daybreak. Mr. Weah will never sleep because the 40 houses, when you decide to spend 30 minutes in each of your house, what's going to happen to him? Mr. Weah will have 20 hours, sleepless night. And when you tell him to spend 15 minutes, he will have 10 hours sleepless nights. When you tell him to spend 7 minutes, 7 minutes, 30 seconds, Mr. Weah will spend over 5 hours oversleeping. I tell you something, people. The people don't want you to go in the community and build mud house for them, see building for them, and you live in a better house. They don't want you to come and provoke them. What is happening? All the projects of this government have been provocative projects. And that is what I left. Because you know what? During the election,
including the military hospital.
And sometimes when you ask, during those days when you come to the village and you bring Rebecca rice to your parents and give them money, they will ask you, my son, where did you get the money from? What is your salary? They will not take it from you until you clarify where you got it from. Have Liberian asked Mr. Weah, this money that was the hospital was built in Bapulu, according to the information, it was not built with our money, the money of Liberian people. Have you asked where did he get the money from? We don't ask about that. We just say, oh, he built house about money. When our children come today and they build houses, we say he's good. And now because of that, today the system make it to the standard. People who are called BM, they feel very proud to call themselves BM because they are the ones that have been embraced by every family home, every home today. My brother, we are not in this election to win crowd. We're in the election to win consciousness. We're in the election with conviction, over clear vision, clear aim, clear purpose for the Liberian people.
You never won on the ballot box.
On the ballot box, I am number 10. When you read the Bible, it's 10 commandments. And I tell you something, when you have one, when they say you are just one, and they say you 0 behind you, nobody behind you, you become 10. And when they put another 0 behind another 0, it becomes 100. And I tell you something today. I want number on the ballot box is something divine. Yesterday I was reading the Bible and I read the story of Jesus Christ, how he was crucified. And when he was on the cross, when he said, Ila, Ila, lama shabatani, my Lord, my Lord, my Lord, why have you forsaken me? Jesus Christ was not complaining that God had forsaken him, but people he trusted so much that he had come to die for. He had come to lead, to show them the way forward. That one of them kissed him and betrayed him. That's why he said, Ila, Ila, lama shabatani. And when I also read the story of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the Prophet when he was pushed from Mecca by his tribal people, when they stoned him in Mecca, they said they never want to see him, that he cannot have a different God from the God of his tribe, the Quraysh people. When he went to Medina, he was received by Christians and Jews, and they were the one that gave him comfort. That is why in the Quran, it is clearly stated that the people of the book are not our enemies, they are our brothers. The Prophet Muslim at that time only fought those who the prophet came from the Quraysh people. And I'm saying to you today, this fight is not a religious fight. This fight is not a fight against Christian and Muslim. This fight is not a fight between tribal people. This fight is not a fight between class. This fight is for our country, Liberia. We are come with sincerity. We are come with honesty. We know that we are not sin, but we are also very clear that we are not perfected sinner. This country, Liberia, will not be changed by angels. This country, Liberia, will not be changed by anyone from outside. This country will not be changed by Europeans, will not be changed by Asians, will not be changed by Americans, will only be changed by Liberians. This country belongs to us. And I tell you today, when I become president of this country, every African who are referred to in this country as foreigners, they will not be called foreigners. Because Liberia was created for the African people. Those Africans who feel that who are denied justice, who are treated as slaves, and this land was bought and declared the free land for everyone. Every African that is in this country, that is born here, or that have come here to naturalize, you are entitled to the citizenship, equal right as Sheikh Al Mustafa created, as only robbers, as my brother in there.
Okay, great. So let me draw you with this quickly before we get the lines activated. Check number 10 on the ballot box, Liberal First Movement political leader. So just in case, do you foresee yourself in the second round? Let's do a second round.
I do believe that the Liberian people will choose me as the president of this country. But in case you don't make it, that I am not choosing by them, that someone else is choosing. Who becomes the president? Become the president for me in every Liberia.
Okay, great. Okay. So in this case, if there's a second round, you have the CDC and the CPP. Who do you go for? Who was the party you get yourself?
We are in this election because we have failed to do what must be done for the people. So anyone that goes against President George Mani, we are definitely Sheikh Al Mustafa Kuyate will not
support. It could be for LPP, it could be for UP, the party. Yeah, they quote this is a fine inauguration speech anyway. But Sheikh is a very brilliant man, and you could make a very good president for Liberia. Liberia decide to vote you.
Why are you always wearing white?
White represent purity and represent peace. I've never wished for violence in this country. And I want to see this country being better. I want to see a generation to come out and become better than myself. You know, yesterday I was telling my children a story that I'm a farmer. And my daughter, 7 years old, asking me, how did you become a farmer? What do you mean a farmer? As I'm a different farmer. I plant plum seed, mango seed. One who plants mango seed has two things on mind. One, I am planting the seed, but I'm not sure that will benefit from the fruit of the seed. Second, I am planting the seed, believing that there will be people who will benefit from the shelter from the shelter of this tree. This seed when it's on the tree, and I also believe that people will benefit from the fruit of the tree that will come from this fruit, from the seed. So that's what I'm doing. I'm not in election because I must win. I'm in election that Liberia must win. In the midst of all.
Yes, that'll take over the call.
Yes, Check, we out there, number 10 on the ballot box. Yes.
Good morning. Go ahead.
Good morning, my brother.
No, that can't seem like. Go to the issue with Liberian people. You don't want Liberian people.
Good morning.
Yeah.
Good morning, my brother. Yeah.
That's the question. That's question right there.
That's the question. That's the question right there.
Thank you.
Anybody can call for any political comment and say this.
Because they recruit you on the
I just said, man. Let's speak up David Cote on the line. Good morning.
Good morning, big brother.
Good morning.
For many reasons. One major reason, and that major reason is that he always consistent on the advocacy for the Liberian people. I know that he cannot be president right now. Look at the war, the problems and the numerous parties. This is all I hear. This lack of comment from one round. I just sit in my bedroom or living room and just laugh. Nobody can win in one round here. On first round, it's not possible. But I'm concerned about one thing that he raised, and that is the issue concerning the second round of the conflict. Now, this is a serious case of need to look at. I want you, Mr. My good friend, now please try to advise me how far they have gone for the second round. There won't be a second round. It is worrisome to hear them say they don't have money for the second round. You're just going to few more days for the elections. So maybe we'll
start to pick up.
We need to know that debt is going to bring trouble if there's no money for the second round. That's not money. I don't care about that.
Thank you.
Come on, love. Come on, love.
Yeah.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
And good morning to Marka, and good morning to presidential hopeful.
Good morning, my brother.
This is Ujuku Oboswa. Hello, Sheikh.
Yes, my brother.
I know on your agenda you have a rule obstruction. That is infrastructure development. What you see is different between the agenda and that of this current government agenda.
Thank you, sir. Brilliant question.
When you look at this government agenda, you visit Maryland. Maryland is suffering from poor connectivity. But this government is constructing the hospitals for our people. I don't think it is prudent to support this government to complete its agenda. And secondly, Liberia is 170 years old. Do you think it is this government is supporting the Liberia? Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Okay, you've made your points. Let's take at least some more calls. 0770-2025-79. Let me take this one. Good morning. Your line is bad.
Hello.
Hello. No, your line is bad. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Marka. Good morning. Go ahead, Chief.
Good morning. Go ahead, Chief.
Good morning, my brother.
This is the manual and I was listening to Bigor Sheikh. And one thing I admire about Bigor Sheikh, most especially that confirm and national issues in relation to the environment.
Thank you, brother. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Yes. Let's take two more. Good morning.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, sir.
Morning. Go ahead, Shut
First of all, I want to check thanks for the healing deliberation. Calling from every yes. Okay, my concern with the presidential candidate is what if he will stand up or left that if he become president, that he will lead that any of the cabinet minister that he will take drastic action on.
Okay. Let me tell you the last one. Good morning. Go ahead quickly. Thank you. Let me just squeeze in Noah because Noah, go ahead. Good morning.
Good morning, my lovely daughter. Thank you.
No, thank you. Yes, that's Chief. You listen to some of the callers. You can just address one.
Yes, because the concerns by my brothers who are referred to as Seditians, even though the most important name for them must be Liberians, is what is different that you would do that makes that President Weah is not doing. I look forward to Liberia where justice become the hallmark of our leadership. President, we have failed to provide justice to Liberian people. I look forward to a Liberia where accountability become a system of governance. President, we have failed to do that. Evidence to that is recently, I provided some information to the national security where the Ministry of Foreign Affairs is selling the Liberia diplomatic passport for $300,000. I wrote President George Money, we are informing him about this. He refused to do it. A year ago, I wrote him on the same thing, he refused to do it. Accountability is something the President Weah doesn't like. That is why even the NTA boss, you cannot even provide any account of money that's been given to them from 2021, 2022 up to this time. Even from 2018 up to 2023, he cannot account on budgets that were given to them. We want to have an accountable government, and President Weah does not represent that. And what example would I set when I become president? I will treat everyone equally. Even if my father goes against the law, he will be treated in accordance to the law. Even if my mother goes against the law, will be treated in accordance to the law. Every Liberian become my citizen. I will not have partisans, but I'll have citizens. That will be the difference between I and President George Money Weah. And I want to say to Liberians today, we will not produce a better Liberia when we are not prepared for the betterment of our country. We must be prepared as citizens of this country to collectively work together. My daughter was saying, Ome Bwaka. Ome Bwaka is one person that I have great respect for in this country. What do I have great respect for him? He is one of the most sincerest person in this country and one of the most experienced and an older person in this country. If Ome Bwaka goes and suck around with anyone, I'll definitely give him my support. But I'm optimistic that by the weight of the Liberian people and the grace of God, that our Sheikh Al-Mustafa Kouyaté will be elected. And when I'm elected, I will not go against anyone because we all contested, but I will ensure if President Weah must go free, he will be protected. I'll protect him under the law of Liberia. But if he must be prosecuted, I will definitely prosecute him. In my first 100 days, they will have the World Economic Crime Code. By my presidential decree, I will establish the World Economic Crime Code in this country. By my presidential decree, I will ensure that Easter will become a national holiday. By my presidential decree, I will ensure that one of the Islamic holidays will become national holiday, because in Liberia, Easter, which is celebrated everywhere in the world, even countries that are not Christian countries that have minority Christians, they celebrate as national holiday, but Liberia does not recognize Easter as national holiday, and that is even more important than the Christmas. I, Sheikh Al Mustafa Kuyate, under my leadership, Easter will become a national holiday. And under my leadership, one of the Islamic holiday will become a national holiday. And under my leadership, we will choose one day as African or traditional day for the traditional people.
How important is the media to
The
your
media
agenda?
is a vehicle that drives our agenda. The media is the voice of the Liberian people. The media is where we echo our voices. Without the media, we cannot be heard. And I always want to say to you in the media, thank you so much. We are very grateful for your support for progress. We are very grateful for your support for reconciliation. We are very grateful for your support for empowerment. We are very grateful for your support for accountability. And we are very grateful for your support for development. We're going to show you that Liberia will be better, but it won't be better by Chinese. It will not be better by Europeans. It won't be better by Asians or by Arabs or by Americans or Europeans. It will be better by we, the Liberians. We must hold our hand together and see how we can move. That's why I'm in very constant communication with all of the candidates. Every candidate in these elections are my brothers and sisters. God bless you. God bless Liberia. Thank you for this privilege and thanks for the opportunity.
Okay, Sheikh Al Mustafa Kuyate. Our first segment guest this morning on the TBS on Truth 96 from One FM. Let's see if we can usher in Naomi Tapia with sports this morning on the TBS. This is Truth FM, the heart and soul of Liberia, and this is where national unity begins. Let's get this for you this morning here on Truth 96 from One FM. Yes, so Naomi is up next with sports this morning on the.
Good morning, Marka. Good morning,
Yes,
everyone.
Naomi, good morning.
The Lone Star arrived in Ghana on Monday morning ahead of this Tuesday international friendly. Liberia versus Morocco encounter expected to have been played on Saturday in Agadir, Morocco was postponed due to the deadly earthquake that left more than 2,500 injured, according to state media. Confederation of African Football CAF will announce new dates and details regarding the match in due course. The delegation is headed by Executive Committee member John Webber. The Ghana Black Stars have been training at the Accra Sports Stadium in anticipation of this Tuesday's international friendly. Ghana recently secured spot in the next January's Africa Cup of Nations in Cote d'Ivoire with a remarkable comeback of victory over the Central African Republic, winning 2-1. Cayenne Pepper Boys of Mighty Barrows started the new league season with a winning spirit as the Besson Boys defeated Freeport FC 2-0 in the first match of the Orange First Division League at the Doris Williams Sports Page. North Zone and Clement both scored, giving Coach David Michael Lord his first victory in the second division category. Ganta Mighty Enforcers triumphed 3-0 over Maigibi FC at the Nancy Stadium. Joseph Kennedy netted a brace in the first half of the match. Enforcers leads the league law for now. At the technical center, Momo Blama's hat-trick against Pass and Shatter FC a bright start to the new league season with a 3-1 score. Philadelphia Lone Star overpowered Samira 3-2 at the Samuel Kando Sports Complex practice page, and Sano MP proved supremacy over Ghana's FC with a half-fought 1-0 victory to end the weekend's second division football fiesta. Meanwhile, Philadelphia Lone Star has announced the appointment of Ansu Dole as the club's new vice president for administration. Dore is one of the founding members and officials of Philadelphia Lone Star FC in America and Liberia. The club said in a statement, with his wealth of experience in sporting sector, serving as coach, president, manager, and local sports agency runner, they trust Dollar's abilities to lead the club in the second division in Liberia alongside Vice President for Operations Abel Thomas. Juventus midfielder Paul Pogba has been provisionally suspended from playing because of anti-doping offense. Italy's National Anti-Doping Tribunal Naidu said Pogba returned a test with elevated levels of testosterone after Juve's 3-0 win at Udinese on 20 August. France international Pogba 30 was an unused substitute but was selected at random for post-match job testing. If found guilty of doping, he could face a ban of between 2 and 4 years. Juventus said in a statement, Juve Football Club announces that today, 11 September 2023, the footballer Paul Pogba received a precautionary suspension order from the National Anti-Doping Tribunal following the results of tests carried out on 20 August 2023. And finally, a Spanish High Court judge has opened an investigation of former Spanish Football Federation President Luis Rubiales. Spain forward Jenny Hermoso filed a legal complaint last week over Rubiales casing her on the lips following her country's Women's World Cup final win. Hermoso territory said the case was not consensual, while Rubiales claimed it was mutual and consensual. That's all from our sports desk. I think
Well, sports is a regular feature here on the TBS on Truth 96.1 FM. Thanks to Tapia, we're taking a short break to be back with our next set of guests here from uh, the Liberian National Union. Just this short commercial break. Okay. For the sake of the public, can you do a proper introduction of yourself?
So good morning. This is my second time here in about 3 business days. I am Lloyd Zabon Scott, the National Chair and CEO of Money Back Bond 2023, the Lionel ticket for the presidential elections.
Well, how are you and how is
Well,
life?
thank you. I'm fine considering the the schedule we're all running now. Lionel is fine. Lionel looks to make history within the next 20 some odd days. So we're fine. We're doing well. We can't lie on God. We all woke up this morning.
Okay, that is good. Tell us a little history about you and Lionel.
So I have a history of being involved in the Liberian body politic more actively since 2005 with the Councillor Winston Tubman's campaign. Then in 2011, also with Councillor Tubman. In 2017, I was working then in the government as a deputy legal advisor to the then president. So I could not actively run a campaign, but I did, as a Liberian, exercise my franchise. I did consult a candidate, and then I am now. Lionel is a party that goes back to 1996. I think the official certification of Lionel and the National Patriotic Party is separated by a matter of hours. They were certified on the same day. So Lionel has been involved in the Liberian body politic for a long time. It's the only center, it's Liberia's only center-right party, middle of the road, encompassing all Liberians, right, dealing with a more value-laden system economically, and so we hope to rescue the country from the rescuers and the fixers and everybody, and to actually build a new Liberia, to give our people a country that they deserve, a fulfillment of their hopes and dreams, and nobody should just live a complete lifetime in the children and the grandchildren where suffering is the norm, and you only hope to escape it. It's an aberration if you do.
Since the foundation of this party and considering the political dynamics in the country, governments have come and gone. Today we are going towards the 2023 elections. How much shifting have been made to the original manifesto and vision of this party?
So life is dynamic, it's not static, right? But one thing that has remained sacrosanct is this idea of giving Liberia to Liberians, giving a country that Liberians deserve, a country where our children can have real childhood, they can have real education, where our farmers can know that their produce will be sold, where our mothers cannot worry every time the children are in the streets about the safety, where we don't have to worry about our girls and being victims of rape, where we don't have to worry about the overall scourge of bad governance and decadence that has bedeviled the country. So I can say we've remained consistent on the general theme of a country for the people that works for them, that they deserve. But as time has evolved, Liberia needs to come up to the standard of modern day. So where in today everybody lives with text messaging and emails. In 1996, 97, that was neither the norm nor something immediately emphasized, certainly not in this part of the world. So to that extent, we've also grown with the times. And that is why these elections are very important, because you have to have people who understand the world today, who appreciate the world for what it was yesterday, and who have a visionary idea of where we should go.
So how does vision of the party align with the personal vision of the current standard bearer, Dr. Clarence Moneyback?
I think you can't even attempt to separate the two. Is one and the same. The vision of the party is that of a new Liberia, of a functioning Liberia, of a society that works for all, of a country that we can be proud of. Dr. Moneyback's vision is just that. It's just, why can't Liberia be like a country where when light goes, it's not a shock, but it's, oh, light going again. Why Liberia can be like a country where when you're looking for an apartment, running water should not be an extra amenity, but it should be part of the parcel of the norm. Why Liberia can be where we know that when you go to the police station, Okay, whether you're poor and broken down or you are, blessed with resources or connections, you will get some modicum of justice. While Liberia can be like other countries where when you get sick and you go to hospitals, you know very well that you have a good chance of being cured, as opposed to begging relatives to send you abroad, and by the time they can raise that money or friends can help you, the disease has already metastasized or gotten so bad off that you only go there and God forbid to come back in the box, or is worse off. We don't have to go to Turkey for medical treatment all the time. We don't for an accident. We don't have to fly to Turkey. Then we leave, some of our staff who can afford it behind. So the goal, the dream is to give, and we believe if blessed with the mantle of authority to lead the country, that will begin to be effected in the shortest possible order.
No, that's good. So we have 20 persons, including the incumbent president, going for the seat of presidency in Liberia. Why do you think your candidate, Dr. Clarence Moniba, should be preferred?
So these elections are about the future and the present. We know what the past has given us. That's why we're all clamoring for a solution. Okay. And if you want to make that leap to the norm of a normal society, of a fully functioning society, you can't always have the same old. Okay. Somebody once said, I think that's the definition of stupid, doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. In 2005 elections, you had two groups that made the second round, the CDC and the Unity Party. Vice President Boakai was then a vice presidential candidate. President Weah was then a presidential candidate. In 2011, you had President Weah now, who was then a vice presidential candidate, with Vice President Boakai in the second round. In 2017, you had Vice President Boakai and President Weah as contenders in the second round. But the country has not gotten to where we want the country to get. So if we are going to make the seismic improvements in the country that we need, we have to get not just change, but somebody who's capable of doing it. When you look in the race, the one person that has done international negotiations for the country outside of the current president, and the one person that has worked in the system, who understands the presidency from being close to it, from being a key advisor, is Dr. Clarence Moniba. Madam Grace Ma also comes with executive experience as a superintendent, being able to understand the remotest parts of the county. Somebody who outside of government has been working on the issues afflicting our young people, getting young women off the streets, getting young men from different ghettos. So when you look at the tickets in the campaign, and you have to be prospective when you look at the present condition of the country, I submit to you that if you went to bed last night believing Liberia was okay and Liberia was good, then you're on a different island and we can leave you there. But if you know that things need to improve and things need to happen, and you look forward, you don't look backwards. When you drive, you look ahead. You use a rear view mirror to see what's behind you. So which is the experience, right? But you look ahead, you got to be perspective looking. And if you are perspective looking, the only futuristic candidate in this race that's capable of hitting the ground running from day one is Dr. Clarence Moniba.
Waku hinder his chances as campaign manager and also national chairman of the party.
No, I'm not national chairman. Chairman Sloja. I'm national chair of the campaign. Okay.
Chair of the campaign. Thank you.
What could hinder Dr. Moniba's chances is if Liberians are not sufficiently informed of the man.
And how much are
we're doing everything. We're running an aggressive scorched earth campaign, reaching the neighborhoods, reaching the towns and the villages. But when you have 20 persons running and people, there's a probability of confusing folks. Few folks take nuggets from here and there. Those things are all hinder. 20-something days to election, anything can happen, and that could prevent voters from coming out, from the bad road networks or anything. But as I sit here today, we are very confident in our ability to make history on October 10th. We have an insurgent candidacy. We're up in the establishment, but more so that will refocused the international community's attention on the country and gave our people the burning hope that they desire and they yearn for. And the country will be better off for it. People will be proud of the decision. And so we're very confident. Well, we haven't stopped working though. We work in some long days.
So you talk about the past, and you also mentioned earlier that your stand-up bearer worked in that past government. How do you want to stand apart from people who were part of that same government that you referred to as the past?
So there's a difference, right? You can, first of all, you need to work in the system to understand the system. Okay. And so you can't just invite, I don't care how great a technocrat is, if they don't understand the environment they're in. Okay, it's very hard to make it there. That's why a great assistant football coach was a great technocrat in football can't just step up and be a great assistant finance minister, because even though the technical services being used or skills being employed, they're two different arenas. So Dr. Moneyba worked in the past government. He garnered experiences, but most importantly, he delivered for the sector he was responsible for, the infrastructure sector, the gains that his government will probably boast of. One thing I appreciate with all of the campaigning going on, they've never denied the fact that they came in and met some things in place or got agreements and things already worked on, that they could continue, because like I said, government is not static, it's dynamic. So that past experience as a delivering guy, as a results-oriented guy, is different than people who just worked in the sector, to say we worked there, we're part of the past. And then secondly, you look at this country, you look at the challenges that we are facing every day. You look at the huge leaps that people have to make just to get near normal, and the energy required and the time required to put in it. Just for a campaign, we're going to bed after 3 and we're up by 5, 6 in the morning, just for a campaign. Imagine what it would take to jumpstart this country when the presidency is being run. You need people who can come and do it. You need people who have the energy to do it. And you need people who can at least address the issues across the board, okay, directly with the Liberian people. And I submit to you, and again, you're a journalist, so, I don't seek to conflict you. But if you look across the board of the candidates who've been coming and talking to you all and taking the hard questions and being grilled, Dr. Moneyba is second to none.
How deep have you gone with this campaign? Liberia has 15 counties. To convince the people to elect your candidate, you have to reach out to them. How far?
We have visited the country, quite a few times. We'll be beginning another tour again within the next day. We currently have a ground game that's second to none. So we are out there. We're talking to groups of 2, 3, 4, smaller groups. We're reaching out to the different homes.
Is that a Jehovah Witness campaign?
Yes, sir. That's what you call it, Jehovah Witness style campaign.
Okay.
And even when you saw Dr. Moneyba in Lofa, if you follow the clips and the tapes, I don't know how many presidential candidates you've seen on motorbikes in 40 towns and villages, okay, going through it. And so we are reaching out to the people, and our obligation and responsibility as national custodians of the people's trust, okay, is to reach out to them and give them the message, and we are doing that. Now, when they go in the booth on October 10th and they decide to use the most potent weapon in democracy, the right to vote, they can then decide. But I can assure you we're reaching every town, every village where Dr. Moneyba isn't. Our folks are there. Where Madam Pan can be, our teams are there. So we're reaching the nooks and cranny of this country.
Camping is expensive. There's no doubt about that. And elbows, where are you in terms of campaign finance? We know there are regulations.
No, we are. So, like most campaigns, not named, the current government campaign, we are struggling campaign financially. People donate the meager resources to help the campaign move. Those of us who are in the campaign make the sacrifices ourselves, including the candidate and his family, our families, our friends, citizens who care about the forward march of the country. Some people take on different projects, say, oh, we will help to finance this trip out of town. We'll help to finance the Get Out the Vote campaign. So the campaign is being financed by ourselves, and that's the challenge you have in these kinds of things where you want to bring the kind of newness that the country needs, but it's not given to you, and for you to take it, you have to make some serious sacrifices. So I say to people, you've struggled, if not purely suffered, for nearly 6 years. It is time that you invest your time and your energies and make a sacrifice for the next month and put in place a crop of leaders that can deliver the country. Will it be instant overnight? No, it took a while to dig the hole, but immediately you will begin to sense the new aura in the country.
Okay. The current government's agenda, which is the proper agenda for prosperity and development, talks about educating the population, talks about lifting the Liberian people out of poverty. They talk about investment in agriculture, improvement of the economy, and all of these things line up in the proper agenda. They talk about infrastructure development. We see them doing some roads and all of that. How different is that agenda from what Lion is bringing to the Liberian?
Well, those of us who are blessed with the gift of writing, or hopefully some of us who can learn to read like you all, can write and read anything, right? Pro-poor agenda, live country out of poverty. You live in the country. Let's pass the eye test. Okay, let's pass the smell test.
You live here
Yes,
too.
no, but I'm saying you are the guy who's quizzing me, right? So because for me, I'm very subjective. I'm running a campaign. I won't be fair. You should be objective. This is one of the most poverty-stricken periods in the country's history, with a higher budget than before. Okay, so
even as the people of the ruling establishment label this governor the best ever the country has experienced.
The fact that they say that with a straight face is even scary. And I think part of our healthcare will have to focus on the mental health of the country, because something has to be seriously wrong with somebody to say that this is the best government in the history of the country. Something has to be seriously.
You don't believe
I
that?
know that's not so. It's not a matter of belief. It's a matter of fact. That is not so. And I believe when you're not a journalist, charged with being objective, you yourself would say the same thing. Most of the country, in fact, the reason why you see such a major clamor for change, CDC owned Monserrate County. There was a time when people did everything just to run on the CDC ticket in Monserrate County. When they put your hand up and your name on the ballot, you were a shoe-in, whether or not you went for your own election. The people voted for people that they didn't even know, they didn't even hear, they didn't even see, because they were on CDC's ticket. Where is CDC now? How many elections have they lost as a governing party, even in Monserrate? So that tells you where people are with them. So to come up with this, the arrogance of saying that this is the greatest country is only trumped by the fact that it's severely insensitive to say that, because they know very well, this is the greatest government ever. They know very well that's not so. So that the arrogance in conjuring a thought to utter that is only trumped by the fact that it is seriously insensitive to say that to people.
What is the party's reaction to this slogan of one round victory from the ruling party? They say one round victory. The last time they had a campaign launch, they even called it the first round victory campaign or launch, something like that.
So I want you to give me a few seconds to deal with this, if not a minute or so. It's very scary and concerning. And at the height of CDC's power in 2017, what did they get in the first round? 30-something%. Okay, that was at the height of their popularity, right? They got 30-something%. After 6 years of epic misrule, are you telling me that they are capable of getting above 50%? What's also concerning is that when countryman Dr. Toye in District 11 recently got found ineligible by the Supreme Court to contest, even though NEC had cleared him twice through investigative processes, administrative processes, Liberians who were in love with this campaign got out there to peacefully protest, not do anything. About 30 or more of them were arrested. It didn't make the news. It didn't make the headlines. They were arrested. But a few weeks before, when the CDC got in a scuffle with the Unity Party and somebody was hurt physically, we didn't hear about scores of arrests. So is that a test that when NEC comes and says Alano has won, or Linus in the second round, and the CDC is afraid, and they go and file to the Supreme Court, and the court makes a ruling. And the Liberian people say we're not too excited, and they come out to peacefully protest. Are they going to be arrested because they're exercising their rights in the franchise? Because if you're going to do that to the supporters of a man who's done everything for his people, you go to Caldwell, they're in love with that man like nobody else, right? If they're going to do that, then we need to be concerned. So when they come out and they make these statements and immature pronunciations or pronouncements are not anything new for the CDC, right? So when they come out with first round victory, I think we should hold them to account. And you know what? If they're very serious about first round victory, I issue a public clarion call to President George Weah. Come and debate the national issues of this country with your peers, with your colleagues. Address the people, but you cannot be, desiring for a job. You want a job. You've applied for the job of being president, but you refuse to be interviewed by the employers, which is the voting population. Okay, to the fourth estate, you have to come and discuss the issues, but you cannot run away from debating the issues with the people. You cannot wait. How many times has this government had real press conferences addressing the burning issues and taking questions? But then you come with this, immature political pronouncement and say you will win in first round. That's a joke. Nobody who's serious about leading this country, who has an obligation to be honest with the Liberian people, will make a good faith and a good faced argument that they can win in one round. It's a joke, and they need to stop it.
Okay, it's a joke. We are seeing gathering of political parties. Some are launching their campaign officially. When do we expect Lionel to also go full blast? Are you intending to launch in Maserati?
Well, we'll be, closing our campaign in Montserrat. We've been, like I said, we are campaigning right now as I speak to you. We have scores of young people, reaching voters, campaigning. The stand-up bearer will be in a few districts in Montserrat again today, reaching out.
Were you frightened by the crowd of people you saw in Monrovia?
I've worked in campaigns since 2005, and the crowds of winning election, CDC would have won 05 and 11. Unity Party, when they had a Green Day in 2017, they already started forming a government. So that doesn't really move me. What happens is, if you go to 20 political rallies, I guarantee you, or if you really look at the pictures and really spend time examining it, you will see a good 60 to 80% of the same people at these different rallies, right? People come out, they want to be a part of history just in case that group wins. They want the t-shirts, okay? It's also a day when some of them get a free meal, right? So most people who are unemployed or looking for activities, that gives them something for that day. Those who are in government, especially with the government, we know there's an obligation, whether it's written or not. It's not legally written, but it's de facto that if you're not seeing that, your face is not shown, somebody will come and say, oh, that other man,
opposition people.
No, it's not a claim. It's not a claim, right? Because look, if you work in finance ministry and I'm working in finance ministry and you go to the rally and I'm not there, you may not do it, but this man may come and say, Data, up, Scott, man, I know the man online with the agenda. The man ain't going on, the man ain't to be seen nowhere. And that could have been, maybe I wanted to stay home, maybe I'm not a guy who enjoys those kinds of things, right? So people do it because they feel a sense of a desire to protect their jobs. And that's why voting is private. So if crowd size were the issues, I think we would have had a President George Weah in 2005 and a President Joe Biden in 2017.
That's good. So more to that, let's look at your own. I have not seen that launch. I remember the biggest event you had was the unveiling of your What's up next?
So October 5th or the 7th, and hopefully NEC will finalize the date with us today and we'll be submitting it to you in the country. We will be closing the campaign officially in Montserrat County. And if you're looking for a crowd, then you will talk to me after that day and you will understand. But again, you will see young people's energy, you will see elderly people's hopes, aspirations, and dreams being put in action. You will see men, you will see women, you will see Christians, Muslims, different religious sects. You will see the Republic of Liberia at that launch. At that close.
What is Lionel's evaluation of the Electoral Commission, the National?
We are very concerned. Very concerned. We are shortly going to officially address it with them within a day, if not today, then tomorrow. But even when you look at, we haven't yet been given a list, we meaning the country, has not yet been given a list of the names that were clean of the voters' roll, right? And after cleaning the voters' roll, we saw it actually increase, not decreased. So either the report we have in our possession is not the most updated version of the report, or there's something wrong. It increased by maybe 436 or so votes, right? And that concerns us. That concerns us. Also, we sent our calendar to NEC some time back. We haven't yet received the official correspondence as of yesterday, as of Sunday evening. So if anything happened yesterday, then I stand to be corrected. In this business, we're humans, and when mistakes happen, we admit them. So we are concerned about the robust enforcement of rules. We're concerned about when the CDC, launched its campaign on February 4th, months before the campaign opened, NEC did nothing. And so, those are the issues that concern us. Having said that, because we are participating in the process, we'll do everything to instill confidence in the results that come, and that's why we'll work with NEC to make sure the concerns of the Liberian people, to satisfy our concerns and our issues, so that way there can be no, criticisms or condemnations when the results come out.
That is great. So we'll take a couple of calls, but where is the standard bearer?
Dr. Moniba is probably currently on his way to District 3 for some functions, and he's doing a few districts in Montserrat today.
Okay, that's great. So we have the national campaign chair for Lionel's political leader and standard bearer is Dr. Clarence Monimba, the son of former Vice President Dr. Harry Monimba as well. So let's speak with the callers here this morning, 0770-202-5579. Let's speak with this first caller. Good morning.
Morning, Marka, and good morning to your
Yes, please, let's do at least a minute.
If they don't have confidence in their political party, or there's no declaration and conviction that they will win on one round, then I'm sorry for them. For us in the CDC, we are convinced.
But they are speaking on statistics and reality now.
I will win on one round, and besides that, there's a rumor in the that how do you speak to that? Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Marka. My name is Jonathan from Israel.
Let's hear you, Jala.
The question I have for you is, assuming in the second round, Lionel went to the run off with the CDC, would it solicit the support of the UP? On a way around, the UP want to go to the run off with the CDC. With this support the UP? Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Good morning.
Good morning, how are you?
Good morning. We are doing great.
This is Joe Thomas, and I'm calling from Tupuru Shara. I have a question to your senior guest. My question is, what if there's a runoff? And Lionel is not in the runoff, but where is Lionel going to put your weight? That's my first question. My second question is, what is the plan to protect Liberia against the effects of climate change on natural mineral and resources?
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Go ahead.
Okay, I'm asking about Gio calling from Groveville to
Go ahead.
Let me take it down to a previous business. I'm doing very well, and along with Peter this morning. Well, I have a question for him. Do we know? For me, my own observation, it will be very complicated for them to win my own team. You know, some of the candidates don't the rescue team. I'm not going to say my brother, I'm sure you will come out.
Good morning.
Yes, good morning, good morning to your students.
Good morning. Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you very much. I'm calling in and I call from the UPC community in Bangersville. Yes, I am actually impressed with the level of expose and the willingness of Dr. Clarence Monimba to effect change within our country. I'm particular about what your student guest is concerned about regarding NEC is saying different things, the Supreme Court is saying different things regarding Dr. Thomas Nimini Tour, issue. Like he said, he was not in the media. Maybe some of you don't want to tell me, but what is actually happening?
You come here, accuse
the outcome of the election. We are particular what will happen because these CDC guys are very desperate. They can do anything, and let's pray for Liberia. Thank you very much.
Okay. Good morning. I'll take 2 more calls. Good morning. Go ahead, sir. Great. Go ahead. You're live. Okay. 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 What are the CDC government not done that the line government is coming to do? Good morning.
Good morning, Marka.
Morning. Go ahead.
My name is Roland Jr. And I call you from my District 6 resident. Marka, let me say thank you to your student. Quickly, I have one question, and I want to find out from Delano what is to do as to what is Delano's policy as to the issue of addiction to the young people across like there.
Drug addiction? Okay, thank you. Let me take the last. You got that. Yes, quickly, 30 seconds.
My name is Benedict Smith, the speaker of the Concerned Motorcycle Advocates Group. I want to say thank you to the speaker. Yes, I have one question for him. I want to know what is the impact of that Monoba in Vitality?
Okay. Yeah, so Mr. Scott, you listen to the callers, you can respond to some of the most important questions. You can do that just in 4 minutes to close.
Oh, thank you. So Juku asked a question, the first guy, CDC supporter, if we don't have confidence for a first round victory, they do. And they roam about Dr. Moneyba not being married. I'm sick and tired of trying to discuss what I think is, frankly speaking, not up to par with the presidential election. George Weah is married. Let's talk about, examples of marriages around here. The president is married, so I'm not going to go there. If you live in glass house, please don't try to throw in stones, okay? So if we're talking about examples, Dr. Moneyba was a minister in government. He negotiated and brought hundreds of millions of dollars to Liberia. No negotiator asked him why you're not married. They wanted to know that he was qualified, that he was capable, that he made the case, that he was able to show them deliverables. Those are the things that concern the Liberian people. When the old ladies are on the streets looking for food for their children or school fees for their children, and when men are out there fighting for their daughters, they're not saying, my man, you're not married, so please, don't get me right to town, or please don't help me with school fees, or please don't give me a job, okay? Dr. Moneyba is a happy, proud family man who appreciates the institution of marriage. His mother and father were married until the cold hands of death took him away. When he enters that institution, he intends keeping it that way. And so he will not beat on men who have abused and debased the institution of marriage because of the chronic irresponsibility of some married men. He will not beat on them. So that's why he's decided that when he's ready, he will enter it. He's a loving, doting father to his son who stays with him. So, let's move on. Let's dispense with that.
Okay.
A brother asked, will we seek UP support in the second round and vice versa? We will seek all support in the second round, including UPs. And what we're saying to UP is come and do the things that Dr. Moneyba is doing. Let Vice President Boykai, let Dr. Moneyba, let President Weah have a debate and discuss the issues. That will determine, because
are you challenging them to a debate?
20%, yes, I am. I'm inviting them. I don't challenge the sitting president or the former vice president, but I implore them to accede to the wishes of the Liberian people and come and debate the issues. Let's know where you stand. We are concerned about the future of this country. So let's know where you stand before we start talking about second round pronouncements and second round endorsements. And yesterday, we got United Party surrogates going around. They've attacked Dr. Moneyba incessantly. They haven't succeeded. Now they are going after his late father, the man through whose stewardship Vice President Boykai was able to get back in government in the 80s. So we call on President Boycott to please call his minions off. Stop this scourge of his former vice. It's a title. So yeah, we're calling him to stop. Every time people are close to you do things, you are silent. You have to demonstrate leadership and tell them to stop. If you want to talk about a second round, whether you're coming to us or you're getting some other people to try to follow you, you need to begin to lead by example. Okay, there's a more imperative that he tells his people to stop these unfair, scurrilous insults. And so yes, we will seek that support, but they have to demonstrate that they believe in the foundation of Liberian people or their concerns. The other caller also asked where we will put our weight. I think I've just addressed that. Somebody, said they believe in me and they like me, but they urged me to kindly join the rescue team. I wish I had his number because I'll work on him to come and work with us for a new Liberia. I don't know what they're rescuing Liberia from. I don't know if his version of rescuing is a Prince Johnson triumvirate vice presidency, where 30 years ago, a few days ago, they were internationally cutting the president's ear. If that's how you unify the country and that's how you want to rescue the country, then they need to do something better.
They said the past is the past.
My point exactly. But because you did something in the past, doesn't mean today, if we want to move forward, we'll just let you go scot-free and then reward you with state power again. For people who have never made one attempt to apologize to the people that they victimized. In fact, they've said that they've done nothing wrong, and then they say the way we address it. He said, that's what we always do in Liberia. We don't hold people accountable. Okay, we just, my people, you'll forget it, man. Let's talk it and move on. We got to stop this and start holding people accountable. Somebody asked, what has President Weah not done that Lionel is coming to do? I'm not sure if that person was being serious or they were joking, right? Because the international shame that this country is facing right now, the lack of business and companies that are here right now, those are things that Dr. Moneba hits the ground running, engages those businesses again before inauguration. Between being declared president-elect after the second round and inauguration, we immediately begin, shutter diplomacy to get people. We got to start this country running again. The attention that a young Moneba presidency will bring to this country, not just that he's young, that he's capable, eminently capable, very educated, profoundly qualified, and he's done it before, he's experienced. That will begin to redirect the international community's attention on this historic
move. So as we close, somebody asks your plan to tackle.
Yes, I want to talk about that. Yes. So Dr. Moneba has already worked with programs to start helping young kids, prevent them from getting addicted. Madam Grace Bond, who would be principally in charge of overseeing this process, has already been on the street trying to take young people from the ghettos. I heard a name from her one day, Solara Bays. I didn't know about it before that she told me. She's been taking young women off the streets also. We have a robust policies, but what we will do is that those who are bringing drugs in this country, there will be a zero tolerance policy on it. We will enforce rules and we will enact rules and we enforce them, that if you are caught bringing drugs in this country, destroying our children, destroying the fabric of this country, you will be dealt with harshly to the deep end of the law. And that would be serious. And if anybody thinks we're joking, you should try it on the second day after Dr. Moneba is inaugurated, and you will see the robust response of the government.
Thank you. Your party.
So, Liberians in 20 some odd days, you will be going to the polls. You will be going to vote for a government, not just for a day, not just for 6 years, but what happens in the next 6 years will impact your life for many years beyond that, if not permanently. So we ask you to consider your dreams, your hopes, your aspirations. Look at where the country is. Look at who can really deliver the country. And believe in the words of Dr. Moneba. Believe in yourself that you can do it. And when you bet on yourself and you vote for this movement and you focus on your focus, which is your life, on October 10, and you cast your vote for Dr. Clarence Moneba and Madam Grace Bond, you win. And when you win, when Lionel wins, you win. And when you win, the country wins. And when the country wins, we are all better off. So we implore you, follow our campaign. Ask us the hard questions. Challenge us. Come to 16th Street to the Lionel headquarters, 16 Gibson Avenue. Go online, moneba2023.com. Our campaign is coming from the ground up and the middle out of the country. And we thank you for having us on Truth FM. We appreciate the challenging questions you gave us, and we hope to be back again. Thank you.
Okay, he is the National Campaign Chief of Line, Mr. Lawrence Scott, our last segment guest this morning on the TBS on Truth 96.1 FM. Well, we're taking our leave today. We hope to be here tomorrow again with another edition of the program. My name is Marka Davis. Arthur Butler has been behind the cameras. O'Neil Roberts will be here tomorrow again with another edition of the show. Bye-bye.